I think it's time we finally call the race. We have a best weekly dividend ETF, and it's not even close. And it's one of our leveraged ones. You're not going to believe the largest dividend I've ever received for $100 invested into the weekly dividend ETFs. This blew this week out of the water, insane amounts of income, and we're going to get into all the details and more. Now, again, some of these are winners, some are losers, but you won't know unless you watch through with the video as we go through all of these selections. I will say I appreciate you guys for the support. We did hit 15,000 dedicated income ETF investors, and we're only going to keep growing from there. But a huge shout out to you guys. Now, again, if you aren't part of that community and you like income investing, making money in the stock market, you love ETFs, you are in the right place. So don't forget to like the video and to subscribe so you never miss out on the weekly dividend ETF updates, because I'm sharing all the information I can find about these phenomenal ETFs. Let's roll that intro. We are in the green by $55 with this account, all due to really one weekly pair. Now, if you don't know, I invested $600 initially. We do have a bit left over in cash, but what we're seeing on the screen now is the unrealized profit and loss. And what that means is it's not factoring in the distributions. So some of these have paid out a lot of money in distributions, some have paid out a little bit, but this is actually worse in every category because it's not factoring that in at all. We will get to that though, because you want to know what is making the most money. That's what our dividend tracking spreadsheet is for. We can see we have all 6 of these in this account. We have AAPW, the Apple ETF by RoundHill, COIW, the Coinbase by RoundHill, MST, the Defiance on MSTR. This is the weekly pair, the only one that's not by RoundHill, NVDW, or NVIDIA by RoundHill, PLTW, PLTR, and TSLW, Tesla. And if I'm fumbling to say those, it's because they changed the tickers on a few of them recently, and I'm still trying to remember. But all in all, I've been really impressed with these leveraged ETFs. And this goes to show you the power that you can have when it comes to income when stocks are doing relatively well. Even though in the beginning there was some uncertainty with the market, we saw some dips, I'm really impressed by the bounce back. And although some of these are in the red here, a lot of them are doing better on our tracking spreadsheet. Some are well into the green, and I'm really happy about that. But all in all, we are positive in the account. So I can't zoom in on Moomoo, but I'm going to throw a photo up for you guys that are interested in seeing these exact numbers. So it's just bigger on your screens if you're on either a TV or maybe even on your phone. What we can see, AAPW is unrealized profit and loss. Again, down 28.86%. Not a good time for Apple. COIW is down 5.6%. MST is down 19.6%. NVDW is up 10.4%. PLTW is rocketing, still up 38.64%. And lastly, TSLW is down 3.8%. So excited to see how these dividends are going to impact these numbers. I've talked about Apple a lot in this series, and I will say I still like the stock. I think a lot of people like the stock. My one complaint about this, and I've been seeing this all over social media, is they're not innovative anymore. Steve Jobs, who passed away a number of years ago now, was the head of innovation with this company. I believe he was the CEO. And since he is not there anymore, they seem to be floundering. So I do have a little bit of fear in regard to that. I don't own Apple. I'll be transparent. I'll tell you guys which of these I own and don't own. But honestly, I still think it has some good growth potential. It's just so large. You can see right here, PE ratio is average, but it's a near $3 trillion USD market cap. So it's huge. And when you're looking at something at this size, just the amount of money that's already in it, that's already part of the market cap, it's hard to imagine this doubling over the next 5 years because it's just such a huge amount of money. I'm not saying that it won't, but in my opinion, we'll wait and see. We can see last 5 years, it's up 132%, which isn't bad. That's not bad at all. It really isn't. It just seems a little underwhelming for what we've seen in the market recently with NVIDIA, with Tesla, with Coinbase. So all in all, I think Apple is a safer play when it comes to these, and the dividend this week was pretty nice. Coinbase is one I'm watching very closely. It is tied with crypto. And not just Bitcoin, it's crypto, because how they make money is they make money off the fees with people trading crypto. So no matter what, if a coin is running, if more people are buying it, if more people are selling it, they're making more off of those fees. But all in all, if the crypto market starts to slow down, purchasing slows down, and thus their revenue slows down. We've seen this over the years, especially when it dropped to all the way, a couple months ago, it was $151, soared all the way back up to almost, $275. But if we zoom out a little more with the real crypto low we saw in 2023, it was $33 a share. Now, if you had purchased that to now, you'd be up 630%. So I will be watching for more dips as we head into what people are calling the crypto winter. I'm not a crypto guy, but I do like Coinbase, and I do use it for the little bit of crypto that I do have. But all in all, I think it's pretty solid. I think it's the first of its kind as a crypto-only brokerage, and they definitely have a big brand name. Everyone in the crypto space knows Coinbase. Whether or not they use it, who knows? MSTR is an interesting one. We've seen a lot of new funds being created about this ETF, and I'm very, very interested in the long-term growth from here. But again, we have another one that's tied heavily to Bitcoin, not crypto itself, just Bitcoin. Because if you don't know, MicroStrategy, that's now phrased just strategy as the company name, they own, 575,000 Bitcoin. So it's similar to a Bitcoin ETF, not the same, but similar just because the value of Bitcoin is going to significantly increase or decrease the value of the company depending on how Bitcoin is trading. Over the last couple of months, it is up 32.2%, which is amazing. But why is MST not following? Well, MST didn't launch at the beginning of the year. It launched at a point where I believe MSTR was falling pretty heavily. Just a lot of bad news. There is news with the lawsuit, by the way, which if you don't know, MSTR is being sued. I think it's a civil lawsuit, and I will say I don't know a lot about lawsuits. Luckily, it seems like everyone is agreeing with MSTR. For those that are invested in this, maybe it's a little bit of investor bias, but from what I've seen, and I'll be honest, only from comments, all my recent comments on my last MSTR video, they all stated that it's just a sham. It's a money grab. And I'm not believing that, but that is what the majority of you in the comments are saying. If you guys have any proof backing that up, please drop it down in the comments. Let me know. Even if you wanted to link an article, I'd love to do some reading on this because it's really interesting, and MSTY is tied closely to MSTR. So if this company is going to have to pay out millions in a lawsuit, I definitely think it might impact at least sentiment with MSTY. So let me know what you guys think long term. I'm a fan of MSTR. It is just so expensive right now. Zooming out, this thing has been a wonder. It's up 158% the last year. So it's outperforming Apple the last 5 years. And that's what I mean when I say it's hard to double your market cap when it's well over $2 trillion. And again, this thing was trading for $34 in 2023 and is now $382 for a phenomenal 990% increase. I just need a time machine like once. That's all I need. I go back, I throw this money into MSTR, maybe some into NVIDIA too, just so I don't miss that ride. We'll get to that in just a moment, but wouldn't it be nice? It would be absolutely amazing. But I am still lucky. Count your wins. Don't just focus on what you didn't invest in that did well, because for every person that bought into MSTR, there's hundreds that bought into something that returned 5%. So just remember that. Don't compare, set your goals, and let's get going. I don't know why this turned into a motivational speech, but let's go with it. Now we can see why NVDW is doing so well. NVIDIA has rocketed up from the low of $96, up 46%. Wow. I'm glad about that. I do own NVIDIA. 1 year, it's only up 10%. 5 years, this thing rocketed as well. Again, it was $12 in 2022, and it hit a high of $140, $150 almost. Holy smokes. And again, I missed out on this one. Even when it was at 50, I was like, that's way overpriced. Little did I know what AI was going to do to our entire stock market. But all in all, happy about it. I am. I'm glad that NVIDIA went up. It grew a lot in popularity, and I think the AI sector is going to keep booming. Just my opinion, not financial advice. You're never going to get financial advice on this channel. Honestly, I just like talking about ETFs and stocks. So long term, though, what I will say, I mentioned this last video. I'm not going to dive too far into it again. NVIDIA was not allowed to purchase certain companies under the monopoly rule. Not like Monopoly the game. Well, kind of like it. Basically saying that a company can't have a monopoly over a market, and NVIDIA was kind of doing that with AI. They're trying to buy all these AI companies like SoundHound AI, etc. And so the SEC stopped it, and so instead of buying them, they just heavily invested into all the companies they liked. So I think NVIDIA will be a slower grower from now on, not nearly the growth that we have seen, but I think in the long term, it will still be a decent buy option, even though it is very overpriced. PE ratio is 46, not as bad as I would have expected, but still. Let me know what you guys think about NVIDIA in the comments down below, and let's keep moving. PLTR is up 81.5%, but before we get into the details with PLTR, I do want to say this is the last weekly video that we will be seeing for a little bit. And what I mean by that is I'm skipping 1 week to reorganize all of my accounts, all my spreadsheets, and then I'm starting off next week splitting all of them up. And moment of truth, here's how I'm going to split them up. I'm splitting them up by the ETF provider. I think it's going to be the easiest and the easiest to track. I have a ton of stuff in the works right now. Mainly what's coming out next is a weekly dividend cheat sheet. And so what that is going to be, it's going to be a free file for you guys, because I want to say thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you, where you'll follow the link down below. It's not up yet, so don't go check. But basically, you'll put your email in and I'll send it over to you. I'm hoping to get it automated, but I'm not that great with that tech stuff. But I will get it automated to where it sends it to you, and it's going to have the ticker, the ETF provider, the day of the week that they're paid, so you can track and see exactly how many you have of each day to make sure when you're getting paid, if you're getting paid on time. And then it's going to have their yields, right? And so the yield is what I'm trying to figure out. There's some tricky stuff with it. And then I'm also thinking I'll put the return since inception on there as well for those that are interested, so you can see exactly how well it has been trading since it began trading. Let me know what you think about that idea. And then there is more stuff after that, but for now, I'm just working on this free project. I think it's going to be really fun. And even if it looks kind of funny because I made the whole thing myself, I hope you guys enjoy. I will be sending out more and more of them because I'll have to update as we continue to climb in the number of weekly dividend ETFs. But I get comments all the time, primarily on my TikTok, which if you guys are on TikTok, go follow me, Spencer Invests. It's similar, not the same content exactly, but there is a mix. So go check me out over there if you use TikTok. But I get a lot of comments asking for some sort of list of all of them so people can check in. And so that's why I'm making it, out of necessity. So again, it will be free, just so you guys know. Back to PLTR. Phenomenal. I mean, I can't even believe this. I did a challenge where I bought a bunch of growth stocks at the beginning of the year for my smaller channel, Spencer Invests Stocks, which is going to be linked down below for those that are interested. And PLTR was one of them, and I bought it at, I think, like $80, maybe even less, 76. Now, around 70, because I think I'm up roughly 85%, which is amazing. It is up 490.5% on the 1 year. This has to be the best performer we've seen in the account, right? Just based off of, look at this. Again, this is when I didn't buy it in the 14, 15, you'd be up 808%. I got to forgive myself for that one. But I do think PLTR, there is some things going on that I think will be interesting. A lot of Department of Defense contracts that could boost this even higher. Trump talked about it at one point or another, which I'm not a fan of that. You guys know I don't get political, but I do think it's strange. I don't know if maybe they've done it in the past. Maybe presidents have done it in the past. I'm not sure. But all in all, it's not my favorite. I don't know if you'd even consider it market manipulation, having the president talk about certain things, but I'm not loving this gray area we seem to be sitting in with a lot of stuff. But all in all, there's good and bad things about everybody. So we're going to move on from it. Please don't comment about that. I mean, I guess you can if you want to. But I think PLTR, just because of those things that are happening, the Department of Defense contracts and whatnot, it's going to be there will be controversy with this stock. So it could be good, it could be bad. Only time will tell. But right now we're reaping the rewards, because I will say it right now, PLTW paid the highest dividend I've ever gotten in any of my weekly dividend ETFs. Tesla is up on the year 80%. Not crazy. On the year-to-date, still down 19.45%. This thing rocketed. I will say I do own Tesla, and I did buy more when it hit under 300. So I have made about $27 on that. Ka-ching. Should I sell that and, I don't know, buy dinner for myself for one meal because food is so expensive now? No, I probably won't. But I am a fan of Tesla. You guys know I fangirl about it all the time because it's one of my best historic runs of trades where I've done, basically swing trading it from the last 5 years or so. Now, is it going to keep doing this? I think it has a chance to run a little bit more, probably up into the higher threes, maybe 380 area. Not financial advice, simply because of the news of what people are calling the Trump and Elon Musk breakup, which is also very hilarious. American politics are so unserious sometimes. But with Musk focusing more on his companies now, less on removing a lot of the national debt, which now doesn't seem to have worked. Who knows? Are we ever going to get out of this trillions of dollars in debt? Maybe not. But all in all, I think Tesla might see a little bit of a bump from that. There is also some news about it, too, when it comes to Tesla, with all the political stuff slowly fading from vision. I think it could calm down. I think if Musk does focus in and start and continue improving the company, which I don't think anything really fell off with him not there. I just think he's focusing elsewhere, and the company's been running smoothly without him, which is probably what he wants anyways. But I don't think we could see a bump in Tesla. So now we're going to jump into our dividends, and let's see what paid out a ton this week and what was actually a little bit disappointing. We had a really good dividend from AAPW, one of the highest ones that we've seen. It was 53 cents. And that's not phenomenal. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's good for that ETF. And it pays lower. It's lower risk, I would say. And so you're kind of getting a trade-off with what you want. Then we have COIW, 64 cents. Not bad, a little bit on the lower end, but again, it's still better than AAPW on one of its worst days, so can't really complain. What other stocks do you guys want to see from the weekly pay category? Because there are some phenomenal ones that I would love to see. Some of the main ones right now, like I think Robinhood could be cool. I think the Reddit stock could be cool. If you're not familiar, Reddit has gone absolutely insane price-wise, at least last time I checked. And then there's SoFi I really like. So there are a lot of potentials for the weekly pay, and they don't even have an MSTR one yet. MST is Defiant. It's the only one that's not RoundHill on here. So I think they will have more coming soon. And again, there's just more for me to add to that cheat sheet I'm creating. NVDW, which is hard to say, 80 cents, solid, higher end, not the highest we've seen, but good. PLTW, moment of silence for the phenomenal returns PLTW has given us this week. All right, $2.03. That is outstanding. Have we even gotten close to that anywhere else? I think maybe ULTY has gone over $2. I can't remember if it hit 203. That's the question. I'll need to look that up and check because absolutely phenomenal. Then we have TSLW, $1.06. Again, very solid. Tied with the highest that we've seen from Tesla, from TSLW. So pump with that. MST, $1.14. Right in the middle of the first two. Can't complain. So we're going to slide all the way over, and we can see we got $6.20 this week. 1/3 of our total distributions from the week are just from PLTW. I hope everyone is talking about this weekly payer now because it's been a little silent. I've been getting more flack that the leveraged aren't as good as the options. I mean, numbers are numbers. I like them both. I like them all. You guys know that I'm a finance nerd. But still, we got to talk about it a little bit. Let's see the total return because I guarantee that is going to blow you away. I don't think I've shown this page on here before. This is the monthly dividend log. So when I log it weekly, it auto uploads it to the monthly category. And I want to show you guys that the best month we have seen from AAPW, $2.03 it paid in April. That month. We just saw that in 1 week from PLTW. That shows you how crazy the worst payer to the best payer is. 4 times better, pretty much. Okay, moving on to the positions tab. I love to see it. Okay, sliding all the way to the side. Let's see what we're looking at. Now, I've tried to zoom in. Is this enough? One more for you. There we go. So you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing. Now, I've updated everything. We have roughly the same number of shares in each position. The only one that's different is I think we have more MST because it's cheaper. And we have one more PLTW because it was closer to $30 when I bought it. So I was almost exactly at $100. Sliding all the way back, check these out. AAPW is down 24.86%. Not great. And like I said, even with the dividends, it was over almost 29%, which, again, bummer. But the dividends aren't helping very much because it doesn't pay that much. Then we have COIW that is in the green. It's up. Oh, we're still updating. 5.58%, which is amazing. NVDW up 19.4%. Some good dividends have been setting this one apart. PLTW, 55.8% in under 6 months. What is going on? I absolutely love this. Cannot believe it's paying out so much in income and maintaining that price. Can it do it in the long run? We are going to find out because it's looking unbeatable right now. Then we have TSLW that was in the red technically, but no, we're positive by 7.7%. Another solid return, nothing too crazy. And MST in last at 16%. Again, it came out at a bad time in the market. Hasn't been paying as much as I would like to see. So we'll see how it does longer term and with the fixing of MSTR. So sliding all the way over, total dividends received, we can see $4.82 from AAPW, almost already passed by MST, which is crazy since this one was added just 3 weeks ago. We've had 3 dividends from MST and like 15 from AAPW. Then we have COIW, 921, NVDW, only 779. So the price of NVIDIA has really helped it overcome Coinbase, even though it is not paying as much. Then we have second place TSLW with 952. And a crazy first place, PLTW, $15.93. Absolutely absurd. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in the weekly cheat sheet. That's what I'm going to call it, the weekly dividend ETF cheat sheet. I'm really, really wanting feedback on it. And again, I cannot wait for you guys to see it. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you found it informative, educational, or at the very least entertaining. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out these videos popping up on your screen right now. One of which is on ticker MSTY, that phenomenal paying ETF that everyone seems to be talking about. And the other one is my most recent video. So check that out. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope to see you in the next video.